Good morning. This is me, Lacey. It is Friday, November the 24th, the day after Thanksgiving. I just wanted to come on for a few minutes and just share something interesting that happened yesterday during Thanksgiving time. And I'm sure you guys can understand this. So that's why I wanted to come on and share this. I thought it was important, definitely, to get it out and as quickly as possible to hopefully help some of you guys and also to help us all moving forward. Okay, so the caption for this live video is family systems and the holidays. So one thing that's really important to understand during this process to really us becoming who we were always meant to be and improving our body, our lifestyle, and just how we feel is that although you've gone through this incredible process or you're in process to go through it, meaning the surgery, some type of procedure, and although you are changing, the family dynamic may not be. So although you are changing, your family dynamic or your family system may not be changing, and that can cause a little bit of conflict. Now, I'll explain what happened. So yesterday, I had some family to come to my house. That was my grand idea. Everybody come to my house for Thanksgiving. Bring a dish to pass, right? So everybody come to my house. And I have a couple of relatives who haven't seen me in a while. So, of course, they were shocked to see my appearance and how different I was, how much smaller I was. Good morning, everybody who's joining me. Leave me a little note. Let me know that you're doing okay today. Anyway, I had a family member to come in. Hadn't seen me in a while, so they were shocked at my appearance. I have a cousin sister. She's a cousin, but she's more like a sister. And she's always been the thinnest one. So I have a sister next to me, and I have a cousin sister. I have a baby sister, but she came along later. Anyway, my cousin sister looked at me in shock and in dismay. And the first thing that came out of her mouth is, "When are you going to stop losing?" That was number one. And number two, believe it or not, she had the nerve to ask me, "Are you trying to get as small as I am?" And so I went on to explain to her, hey, it's cool. I'm still feeling good, blah, blah, blah. Good morning, Heather. I'm still doing good and I'm doing great, and I still got more to go. So that was kind of my explanation. I'm going for my goal, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, went on with the rest of the day. It was feeling good. She had a couple other comments to say. So anyway, it was more like, okay, so the reason why my cousin sister saying this, the reason why I'm not going to lose any more weight because of my height and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, okay, great. That's fine for you. But as for me, there's still more I need to do as far as my goal. Okay. So anyway, going throughout the day. Anyway, last night, I'm finishing up the dishes and everything, and I'm feeling some kind of funky way. And one of the great things about this process and about some of the things that I've been posting, some of the live videos I've been posting, you can find those too. But some of the information I've been posting is learning to slow down and begin to dissect what is going on inside of you secretively. One of the issues with our past lives, living obese, is it has to do with not being able to process emotions, not noticing or recognizing that there's something deep on the inside of us that's bugging us. So one of the things we did was eat to try to alleviate this hidden anxiety. I think there was a post that I posted from Food for Thought app about hidden anxiety. Anyway, there was a hidden anxiety in me, and I really had to stop and try to start to dissect what was going on during the day. And I'm like, okay, Lacey, all right, now it's time to dissect. So what happened during the day? All right, meal was good. ate within my boundaries. That was all wonderful. I had a daughter-in-law come in. Her reaction was great, and that was it. You look great, blah, blah, blah. She sat down, had a great time. But then it went back to the things that my cousin's sister was saying. And I'm like, okay, well, what is it about that bothered me, or that planted or sowed a little piece of anxiety in me that I now have to deal with? That's one of the things that this beautiful tool can begin to award us, the opportunity to stop and dissect things that have happened over our day that has the potential to cause us to start nibbling again. Because remember, it's hidden anxiety that we have to learn to process, that we have to learn to deal with. So I started thinking, okay, she asked me, just in a flippant reaction, are you trying to get as small as me? And so I started thinking, all right, so growing up, I was always the biggest one. I don't know, please comment to me if you can understand this. Family gatherings, sisters getting together, I was always the biggest one. So within that dynamic, each person, good morning, Jen, each person has a role to play. This just really blasted my mind, and I hope it blesses you and gives you some information too. Each person has a role. Each person has an assignment in a family group. My assignment in the past, I was always the biggest one. I was the one with the health issues. I was the one that when we went to dinner, we had to get a table because I couldn't fit into a booth. I was the one everybody had to look after because Lacey was the biggest one. Does that make sense? My cousin's sister was always the thin one. Oh my goodness. She was always the thin one. She was always, quote unquote, the cute one. She was always the one that I was being compared to, or the other way around, that mom would say, hey, why can't you be like so-and-so? Why can't you be like her? I was always the one. How many of you can attest to that you were always the biggest one? You were always the one on the end of the picture. You were always the one. I was always the one hiding behind somebody else because I was too ashamed or too afraid to have somebody take a full-length picture of me. Lacey was the one that would get in the back and be hidden. Okay? Now, understand this. My mother and my sister, who I live relatively close to, meaning in the same city, they've seen me in this process. So they understand I haven't changed on the inside, but on the outside, I'm different. Now, my confidence level has changed. Just my self-esteem, all of that has changed. So this cousin sister who hasn't been with me through this process was shocked, and automatically her position in our family dynamic was threatened. So there was these little under the table low blows at me that I didn't even recognize, but I could feel it later on. And as I said, I'm thinking, okay, so what was it about that bothered me? Because the family system or the family dynamic didn't change. I changed, but everybody around you is not changing. Don't that make sense? So that's why there can be a conflict sometimes when you go into arenas with people that haven't changed, but you have, and now your changing is a threat to them personally because they don't know where they fit anymore. Please comment. Let me know if this makes sense to you. Their system, their way of thinking about you, their way of relating to you has to change now. Why? Because Lacey, or because Alicia, Jen, Stephanie, you're not the fat one in the group anymore. You're not the one that needs to help up the steps. You're not the one that needs the cane to walk with. You're not the one that has to hide. You're the one that's able to stand true in who you are now. And now it becomes a threat to the family system. Oh my goodness, when I realized that, it freaked me out. Okay. I tried to explain that to my husband, of course, who's been with me on this journey. And he couldn't understand it. Now, why couldn't he understand it? He couldn't understand it because he never walked in a family system akin to mine. I knew that you guys would get it because you have walked in a family system that's akin to mine. So when you go to these family gatherings around this time of the year, especially now, since you're different, your confidence level is different, your self-esteem, you're like, you know what? I know who I am. And when it comes to eating, they freak out. Why? Because you're not piling your plate on again. Aunt May is upset because you're not the first one devouring the sweet potato pie. You're not the one that's cramming in the mashed potatoes and gravy. Why? You've changed, but the family dynamic didn't. The family system did not change. So that's why, my awesome sisters, that's why you freak people out. I want you to understand not to take it personally. It's not personal. What is happening is their perception, view, the way that they relate to you has to change, and it freaks them out. The sun is coming up. I hope you can see how beautiful it is. I spent 32 years of my life being morbidly obese. How many of you can attest to that? Well, you spent a lot of time being obese, and people learn to relate to you according to your sickness, according to your obesity. They treat you like you're sick. I was treated like I was sick by my cousin, sister, by my other family members. Oh, do you need help? Let me get you another chair. Oh, we can't sit at a table. We can't sit at a booth. We have to go to a table because, well, Lacey's with us. But now, since that has changed, it freaks people out because they don't know how to relate to you anymore. Do I need to change positions? Is the sun freaking you out? Let me see. No, that didn't help one bit. Okay, let me just keep going. You changed, but the family system didn't. I see Kim, she's saying, yep, she was overweight for so long, and now all of that is different, Kim. Alicia, that's different. Karen, you're different, but the family system didn't change. So you're going into your family system that have always recognized me as being obese Lacey, obese Kim, obese Karen. We got to take care of her because well, just look at her, right? That's all changed. Let me shift. That makes me feel better. You've changed. The family system hasn't. So what has to happen? A couple of things. Let me move my car. Hold on a second. Don't y'all leave because this is good and it's helping me. Let me see. Hold up. I'm sitting in the parking lot at... that's better. Okay. I'm sitting in the parking lot at Walmart looking a little weird. Anyway, let me just keep going. You've changed, my sisters. The family system didn't. So what has to happen? First of all, there has to be a reckoning with that. First of all, you understanding you can't take this personal. Don't suck it into your heart. Don't have it do to you what it started doing to me. I started figuring and thinking, okay, so what's going on? And that little tiny urge in me to eat, to nibble. Why? There was a hidden anxiety that I needed to deal with, which was this. Secondly, I did talk to my husband, but he couldn't relate. He couldn't sympathize. Why? Because he always had a healthy family system. My family system has always been dynamic. I've always been the biggest one. I changed, but the family system didn't. The dynamic didn't. They didn't change. I did. Secondly, understand when it happens, how to deal with it. And thirdly, there may come a time where you have to confront it. Confront it with love. Let the person know, I've changed for the better. I'm not going to stop changing because you're uncomfortable with my change. Oh my goodness, That is so good right there. I'm going to say that again. I will not stop changing. Tell them I will not stop changing because my changing threatens you, number one, and my changing makes you uncomfortable because now you don't know how to relate to me. You don't know how to treat me. I'm not the fattest one in the group anymore. I'm not the one that needs to be taken care of. And that threatens you. That makes you uncomfortable. It makes you feel weird. I've had people not even know how to embrace me or hug me. Why? Because I'm different on the outside. Hi, Miss Deborah. I'm different on the outside. I'm the same on the inside, but I'm stronger on the inside than I used to be. And now that threatens you. I'm not the weak one. I'm not the one feeling rejected. I'm not the one feeling abandoned. I'm the one that's able to now stand up in who I've always meant to be. And it threatens you. It threatens your family system dynamic. It threatens your position in the family. And so now the little undercover, undertow low blows come in order to try to shift you back into position and cause me to shackle back down to where I was. Don't let it shackle you down, sisters. Keep standing. Understand it. And it comes from everywhere. It could come from mama. It could come from your husband. All right, so let me get to this. I had to confront my husband too. All right, so there was a little comments here and there, oh, your butt is getting smaller, blah, blah, blah. Okay, first 2-3 times, it was kind of cute and kind of funny. All right, but you get into time number 7, time number 8. Okay, so there's something connected to that now. So while I'm having this conversation with him about my cousin's sister and the little low blow, I had to ask him. And he says, okay, well, you just need to know who you are and continue to just stand in that and continue to go for your goals. I had to say, okay, well, on that point, I'm going to ask you to please not comment on my body parts. How good was that? Great relationship, wonderful supporter, but I'm trying to find out. Is there something connected to that? Well, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. No, you're playing and you're kidding, but you don't know how that affects me. I grew up with body image issues, and I'm going to talk about body image one day. I grew up with body image issues. So don't tell me I'm going to have body image issues when I'm 300 pounds, and now I'm 120 pounds smaller, and I still have body image issues. That's not going to work in this season. So I'm going to have to confront some things in love. And it's okay to say, you know what? Those little comments are bothering me now. Those little comments are not cute. Those little comments are not comments you want to be said back to you. Because if we would all agree, when a certain age comes around, everything starts drooping. But that's okay. I ain't mad. If you need to have procedures done to get stuff back up where it needs to be, you do that. I'm talking to my ladies who find it so necessary and, of course, is needful to have some things restructured on your body physically. That's fine. I'm just talking about your family system that hasn't changed, that don't know how to react to you. So I wanted to, as soon as possible, get this piece of information out to you, get this nugget out to you as an encouragement, as something you can jot down and say, Aunt Sally treats me a little different, huh? My sister Martha, she said this, and my husband, he's saying that, and people at work, they're treating me this way because you changed, my sister, but your systems around you haven't. But what can happen is there be an acknowledgement to the systems around you. Oh, Alicia, you're right. It's kind of like the alcoholic who gets sober. Absolutely. That's what I was trying to talk to my husband about. That it's the exact same thing. It's just dealing with another component, but it's the exact same thing. So now how do I treat you? How do I live with you? How do I react to you? How do I balance my life with you being so different now? Be encouraged. Jot down notes. Keep a record of it. when you have to confront it in love, let them know you're threatened. And it's so beautiful to let them know that in love. So the next time, because there will be a next time when my cousin sister says something a little off the cuff, I will let her know. You know what, sis? I love you. You mean so much to me. I've changed, but I understand you haven't. But I'm not going to allow your uncomfortableness. I'm not going to allow your uncomfortableness with me becoming who I am be a threat to me, cause me to turn inward and start to eat again. Because I am changing from the inside out and refuse, absolutely refuse, to allow anybody's comments, looks, stares, or questions cause you to go back into the cave of eating and obesity. You guys be blessed. Please let me know in the comment if this has helped you, if it's encouraged you, if it's given you answers, if now you have another tool to fight with. So now you can walk around with this new tool and say, me becoming who I am is a threat to you. And I am okay with that. And keep becoming who you were always meant to be. You guys have an incredible day. Do some good shopping. Enjoy your family. And let them know that it's going to be okay. And just enjoy yourself. I'm so excited, and I'm glad that this has come at a timely moment for you guys. And we got Christmas and New Year's coming up with family, right? So just take this, use it, understand it, pass this video along. I don't mind, because I know there's so many sisters and brothers that need this. Even though you've changed, your family system may not. But you keep becoming who you are. And trust me, they will catch up. Have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you soon.